What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to JDD TV. I am your host for today, Josh, and we get to watch the Canadian men's national team in part of their World Cup preparation have a friendly today against Bahrain. And it's pretty early. It's 10:17 my time, so hopefully you guys are all excited. The World Cup is fast approaching, ladies and gentlemen, so this will get a good taste of getting some of our North American-based players some important match minutes before we get going. But, I mean, come on. The World Cup is literally just around the window. This is an opportunity to watch a national team. I'm pretty excited. I hope a lot of you guys are as well. And yeah, let's. I'm going to try to find the lineup somewhere, and we can discuss that before we get going. As kickoff's supposed to be in about 13 or so minutes. But let me know what you guys are thinking about the game tonight, which players you're most excited to, and I can already see the probable answer will be Ishmael Kone. But yeah, it's going to be fun. But let me just see if anyone's got the lineup here. They do. Perfect. So I'm going to bring that up for you guys. Present, share, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. It was very, very similar to the one that I predicted in the preview. I got one position wrong. They got it really weird here, but I'll explain to you kind of how it's supposed to look. But essentially, I mean, I predicted it was going to be a 3-4-2-1, just given at the players who I believe will have a significant role at the World Cup. And I mean, FootMob's got it wrong. But anyways, it is going to be a 3-4-2-1. St. Clair's in net. At right wing back is Richie Larea. Outside right center back is Alistair Johnston. Daniel Henry, he's rocking the captain's armband. He's your central center back. Outside left center back is Kamal Miller. Raheem Edwards starts at left wing back. So that's a key one to keep an eye on. Just, I mean, starting minutes, an opportunity to impress. He had a good season with the Galaxy. So this is a real opportunity for Edwards to potentially give a little push in there. The two midfielders is Piet and Kay. I predicted maybe Liam Fraser just because he was that one European player, and I just kind of thought there was something there. But, I mean, the more obvious duo would have been Kay and Piet, but I just went a little off the board for fun. But it is Piet and Kay as the two central midfielders. You have Kone and Jonathan Osorio as your two dual cams, and you have Lucas Cavallini as your lone striker. So all in all, like I said, I mean, in my prediction, I got one wrong. I put Fraser instead of K, but you know, if I was a little brighter, I probably would have put K because it made more sense. But we'll take a look at the bench. We have Akinola on there. I'm curious to see who's gonna get game time. Looks like they're missing a player. I'm not sure who it is, but they got Pantemis, Hassal as the two backup keepers, Joel Waterman, Lucas McNaughton, ZBG, Liam Fraser, Matthew Chouanier, Jacob Schaffelberg, Jaden Nelson, and Ayo Akinola. So is that 9? 1, 2. So yeah, that's 10. So that's the 21. So yeah, I mean, players off the bench that I'm potentially expecting to see would definitely be Liam Fraser, probably Schaffelberg, Nelson, and Akinola. And I don't know who the other ones may be, but I mean, the objective of this match is to get these players fit because they should be playing a pretty significant role for Canada come World Cup time. But yeah, let's get in the comments, guys. If you're just joining us today, be sure to drop a like, say hello in the chat, give you guys a score predictions. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I don't know a lot about Bahrain. They're ranked 85th in the world. Canada lined up this friendly because it'll be in similar conditions as the World Cup will be in Qatar. Apparently, Bahrain is like arch rivals with Qatar. So, you know, I really like the friendly. I think it'll be a decent matchup today. They're 85th in the world. So, it's not a bad national team by any stretch. And for this North American-based Canada side and in that conditions, it should be a decent preparation match that I'm definitely looking forward to. And I like the starting 11. Like I said, it seemed like it was the obvious choice to go with that 3-4-2-1. But it turns out that's what Herman is going with. So it should be pretty fun. Got some love coming in from Canada. Let's go. Ryan says Kone is the guy to watch today. I agree with that. I mean, you know what you're going to, in looking at the starting 11, like, I mean, I'm curious to see how Henry's going to do. Just, you know, curious to see how Henry's going to do. But I mean, Miller, Johnston, Larea, all staples in the national team. Piet he'll do the dirty things in behind. I'm also curious to keep an eye on Mark Anthony Kay because his form hasn't been overly great with TFC, but he's usually, I don't mind Kay with the national team. I've always thought he played pretty well. Great to see Osorio back in there from his injury, and then having the 2 dual cams, I think will be a lot of fun having Kone and Osorio playing off each other with Cavallini up front. A little bit of love coming towards Kone. OC's here, says, hey Josh, what do you think is the best World Cup song? It's Waka Waka. I mean, let me know what your guys' favorite World Cup song is, but I mean, for me, it's not even a debate. If there's a tier list, like it's S tier Waka Waka, then Waving Flags is a little bit under that, and then I don't really care about the rest. But those are my World Cup songs. You can't beat Waka Waka, man. You can't. I'm saying Osorio and Henry goal. Henry goal. It's bold, OC. It's bold, OC. I mean, Osorio's not a bad show, but morning, Josh. Good luck to the Canadians. Drove 4 hours from Doha, Qatar to Bahrain to watch the Canadians at the game live. Very cool, my friend. Very cool. Hopefully you will enjoy that as well. And anyone going to the World Cup hopefully will enjoy it. It should be a lot of fun. If Kone scores this game, I will have lunch at... Well, there you go. Good morning, lads. We're getting so close to the opening game against Belgium. I'm just pumped. Hope you're all in good spirits. Let's not forget Remembrance Day. Yep. At 11 o'clock, if any of you guys want to remind me, I'm going to try to take a moment of silence. I have the poppy. But yeah, the game's going right through the moment of silence. So if anyone, I got my girlfriend, hopefully, or my fiance, should I say, coming to knock on the door to remind me. But if you guys want to as well, be like, hey, Josh, it's like 10:58. Just take your moment of silence at 11, and we can do that together while enjoying Canada. We got a prediction of 3-0 for Canada today. We got some Moroccan love coming in the chat. I see that a little bit. Getting excited for that match. The Moroccans were a little annoyed with my my predictions sometimes, but no, I think Morocco's got a good opportunity to get out of the group. I think there could be a surprise, and whether it's, I mean, the surprise would be, I think Belgium's gonna potentially crash out, but you know, whatever. Mark says, hi Josh, how you doing today, my man? Answer, is Hakimi playing anywhere today? I don't think so. Larea is gonna run. Well, I mean, I'm really excited to take a look at just basically, I mean, specifically the TFC players and even Cavallini. Like, these guys have not played since decision day on October the 9th, I believe that was the date. So they're getting back in action. They're getting some important minutes here. They obviously have the training sessions and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to like about the starting 11. A lot of talent. There's even some like fun players to take a look at off the bench. Like I said, Liam Fraser was always a wild card for me just because he's the European player coming over. So Schaffelberg, Jay Nelson, 2 outside shots if he wants to switch up the shape a little bit. Akinola as well. I don't know how many we're going to see, because, like, again, this isn't just like a friendly where you can make all your subs and, yeah, give everyone some times. The objective here is to keep these guys on the pitch right here in the best shape possible. This is to give them hugely important minutes. So I think Herdman's going to be a little careful with some of his substitutions. Waving Flag is the best, fam. This year, it's what Speed made. Speeds is catchy. Yeah, but it doesn't come close to Waving Flags in my eyes. But it is catchy. I don't know. I haven't the World Cup song. Obviously, the main one hasn't dropped yet, but Speeds did give me a cramp. When he was he started off and he would name the countries, and then he slowly started to not name them properly, and I got a chuckle out of that. But Josh is getting married. Josh is getting married. I've been engaged for a few weeks now. Different man. I know. I appreciate the love, my friends. The fiance will give a little knock, though, to remind us of the 11 o'clock moment of silence. I back Henry because he played in Asia. He did. OC's got the knowledge. He played in South Korea. Henry, fun fact, has started 2 matches this season in Major League Soccer, played in, I believe, 12, so 10 more appearances off the bench. So captaining this Canada side with almost no minutes under his belt. But John Herdman speaks so highly of Daniel Henry, as you guys can tell. Every time, basically, he's mentioned, and in the last press conference, he's said, Henry's not here for any other reason besides that he's a good player. He just wanted to make sure everyone knew that, like, I back Henry. I trust him, and When I was coming up with the starting 11 today, a lot of you guys in the preview said, why are you putting Henry in? Why are you putting Henry in? And it's because John Herman will put Henry in. That's just the fact. Like, there's an opportunity. He probably will play at the World Cup. John Herman does trust him. Certain situations, I don't think he shouldn't start, but coming off the bench late in the match, maybe to just kind of be that focal point in the back of the back three, back four, whatever it is. But yeah, it's not a surprise that he's starting. It's not a surprise that he's captaining. Kone is going to have a big game. I think it's a big opportunity for him. I literally think the beautiful thing about this is that Osorio and Kone are playing side by side dual cams today. And I think more than likely they won't start together at the World Cup. So this is a huge opportunity for both of them to put in a good shift and potentially, give one of them the advantage when it comes to starting a game because they play in a similar position. All right, we're going to put the Moroccan in just a quick timeout. It's only because you're slightly annoying. But Hakimi is a good player, and I'm excited to take on Morocco. Hopefully when we play Morocco, the match will still matter for either us or Morocco. But, I mean, there could be that unfortunate, unlikely situation where we're both 0-2 and the game doesn't matter at all. So let's hope that's not the case. This match's preparation, the guys playing are the guys going. I'm sorry to break a few hearts, but Joel Waterman will not be a part of this World Cup squad. Maybe he will be in the next there. I mean, it's interesting because I would have assumed, given the positions, because like you have Adekubi, you have Davies who can play there, you have Larea who can play at left back. Like there's really no need for Raheem Edwards. I think Joel Waterman could sneak into that, maybe that like 26 man. Like if he goes, he won't play at the World Cup. But the fact is that he's not featuring in this match right now. Or is he? Oh, Henry picked up an injury. I just switched over to the game, so Joel Waterman is featuring in this match. Interesting. Just switched over to the game literally right now. And yeah, okay. So it looks like Henry picked up an injury in warm-ups. Wow. Joel, okay. Joel Waterman is definitely in now that Henry got injured. That's tough. That's tough for Henry. Captaining this side. I wonder who. So Piet's going to be the captain then. That's so interesting. So yeah, Joel Waterman comes in. He'll play in the central center back of a back three. And what an opportunity for Waterman now. That is a position literally that will be passed down from Victoria. I don't see Daniel Henry after this World Cup playing much part of the national team, just, because of his, basically everything. It's just how, Henry's here because he's a character player. Herman does really rate him, but barely featuring. Joel Waterman is a better player. And now he's got the opportunity to shine in a back three. This is huge. This is a big, big opportunity for Joel Waterman. You never want to hope for an injury, obviously, for a player. It's a shame for Daniel Henry. Like I said, he's a character player. The locker room loves him. Coach loves him. But this is a huge opportunity for Joel Waterman to put a real claim down because there's no true backup right now to Victoria. It is Henry. I think a lot of us Canadians can agree. Depending on the situation, you don't really want Henry starting a game at a World Cup. Could potentially come off the bench, but I don't know. I trust Joel Waterman. I loved his game this year. He's taken huge steps in his development, and now he's got an opportunity to play in a position the future needs. Come to 2023 for the next Nations League matches, it is huge opportunity for him to step up today, rocking the number 5. This is wild. Hopefully Henry's okay. Like I said, you never want to see an injury this close to the World Cup. It can be gut-wrenching, but Henry has had injury problems for a while now. Like I said, he's only started 2 games in Major League Soccer all season long, featured in 12. He's got his issues when it comes to just staying fit. And yeah, it's also worth noting that Lucas McNaughton, who's on the bench right now for Canada, was one of the players who kept Henry on the bench through his time at TFC this year. So we'll have to take a look. But yeah, Joel Waterman's now a player today that I'm going to be keeping a very, very special eye on. I'm really intrigued to see what he does because, like I said, what I was going to say before you guys pointed out that Henry's picked up the injury was that that Edwards, because he's a left back in this team, you can't really fit Waterman in. Like, you could have maybe played Ray on the left-hand side, but like I mentioned in the preview, you play Alistair Johnson where he's going to feature at the World Cup. That's outside right center back. Ray will probably feature a right wing back. So then you just brought Edwards in because he was the only body there. So that gave him an opportunity to impress. And maybe if it's down to bring in Edwards or Waterman, he goes Edwards because this is a good opportunity. But now Waterman gets the start and in a position of more need. Like I mentioned, if you play in a wingback role, you can play Davies there. Not you're going to, but you can. You can play Adekubi there. You can play Richie there. So Edwards would be like literally the fourth string guy where if there's no Henry, who's going to be one of the backups for Victoria? Big opportunity, big opportunity. But let's get back into the chat here before we get to kickoff, which will be starting very, very shortly. I feel like every song is mid this year. Like Speed is good for the year, but compared to other World Cup songs, it's C. Well, Speeds isn't a real World Cup song. It's just something he threw up on YouTube. So it's a little different that way, but that's a pretty light bench for Canada. Good to see you, JD. I'm Brazilian, but enjoy watching you support your boys. Gets me in the World Cup mood. Brazilian, you guys will be one of the favorites for sure. There's no getting around that. The Brazilian team is one of my favorites. I think them and Argentina. I don't know. I have a feeling the South American team is going to take it this year. Waterman definitely is in now. I think Waterman getting his first cap today as a sub would be big for him. But Mark then says, no, he's a starter. Morocco and Canada are in this together. All we have to do is beat each other and grab 1 point. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think there's a good chance that, like I said, whether it's Canada or Belgium or Canada or Morocco, I think there's an opportunity that we could cause a bit of an upset to Belgium. I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely off and Belgium will show up, but they look very different. But kickoff is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a like if you're just joining us on the stream today. Say hello in the chat as well, as kickoff has already began and Canada is on the front foot. I think they've already won themselves a corner. Is there a live? I don't know if I'm going to have the, no, I'm not going to have the live bits, but I'll just keep the starting lineup up then. Get the score in there, I guess, if it ever loads. And maybe just put it smaller. Let me know if you guys don't mind that. It's not loading, but corner kick coming in. Did the game start? The game did start. Canada already on the front foot. All right, there we go. Just trying to see the live ticker. Okay, so the live ticker's right here. So let me know if you like it bigger or smaller. I'm trying to fit everybody in. All right, I like the look of that. All right, let me know, guys, bigger or smaller, this one or that one? Say Josh big or Josh small? You can kind of see. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Let me know. I can change it back. Josh bigger? Josh the bigger one or the screen bigger? But gotta be specific here. Waterman will hold his own. Its main liability is speed, but he shouldn't be exposed much today. Well, I mean, when you play it centrally, that gives him like I think that's gonna help what he's good at. I think Waterman could be a perfect fit long term to that central center back role. When you have support with Alistair Johnson on the right, you have Kamal Miller on the left. I think it's a good opportunity for him. And I'm excited to see how he does today. He's also a pretty good passer of the ball, which I like. And when you're central in a back three, that's a really important trait to have. Vittoria definitely has it. It's a good ball. Kelly's tuned in, says 5-1 Canada. Kelly, how you doing today, my man? I'm hoping for a decent showing today. For me now, Joel Waterman, Edwards, Kay, and Kone are the ones I'm keeping an eye on. Edwards and Waterman mainly just to see if they're going to actually make this squad. I think that you can give it a shout for both. And then in terms of K, just because of his form, hasn't played in a while, I'm really intrigued to see how he's going to perform today. And then Ismail Kone, because this kid could do something special, I think, at the World Cup. I think Croatia is the harder opposition than Belgium. Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. I like that. Because I agree. Who do you think has the best opportunity of topping our group in the World Cup? Belgium. Oh, good opportunity there for Canada. Belgium, Croatia, Canada, or Morocco. I would say I think Croatia's got the best opportunity. They're playing well. They're they just did well in the Nations League. They have that World Cup experience, making it to the finals last time out. There's a more well-rounded side. Good opportunity. JD, are you doing a watch along for all World Cup matches or only for Canada? I'm not sure. On this channel, I'm not really sure. I think I'm depending how the tournament is later on. I might do some other watch alongs, but they might be on One Soccer. We're doing a live stream today on One Soccer. We're doing the World Cup mode at 4. So I got to head up to the studio today. Haven't played the World Cup mode yet, so it should be fun doing it on stream with you guys. Doing well, Josh. Thanks. Been foaming at the mouth watching, waiting for this action. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. I just love the idea and the way that they actually put together this camp. I think it's so important. Needed just because of how important some of these players are for Canada, some of the Major League Soccer players. So getting them this game, getting them this camp, we should go a long way. And then they're just going to hopefully just shift right into basically World Cup mode. All these rested bodies are going to be an advantage for Canada and Qatar. It is. It's a shame, though. I want to give some love to Maxime Crépeau. It's cool seeing Dane St. Clair starting net today, though. I think he is probably the keeper of the future for Canada. Not going to lie. Oh, nice little touch there. He's in. It's Ismail Kone. Oh, that's a statement right there, ladies and gentlemen. Ismail Kone. Look at the speed. Look at the speed on the kid. Oh, man. That is what you want to see. Drop a W in the chat for Ismail Kone. That is exactly what you want to see. Every single one of you guys who said if there's a player to watch today, it's Ismail Kone. Rocking the number 13 Atiba Hutchinson kit. Oh, what a touch. What a touch. Oh. What? They didn't even show a replay. What a goal. What a goal. 1-0 Canada. Beautiful start. Jonathan Zorio's got to be careful. He's got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. You got someone performing this well? Oh, baby. All right. Got some W's coming in the chat. Davies not playing? No. So this is an all basically North American camp. Every player on this team actually plays in Major League Soccer except for Liam Fraser, who got permission to leave Dians in the Belgian 2nd division to come on over and feature as well. But seriously, what a goal from Ismail Kone. Absolutely love it. Good luck in the World Cup from an Englishman. Sure, you'll smash Bahrain from 5 or 6 a day. Well, we're hoping so. Give a little confidence, but my player to watch, everybody's player to watch today was Ismail Kone, and just to show the touch to set himself up, the speed to break away, and then the finish with just absolute conviction. You gotta love it, guys. If you're just joining the chat, be sure to drop a like on the stream. Show Kone a little bit of love in the comment section after that goal. But that's what you want to see. I said months ago, well, it wasn't months ago. It was after Kone scored for CF Montreal in the playoffs. Said this kid's gonna start a game in the World Cup, and a lot of the Canadians that were hyped up said, yeah, like for sure. And then some were like, I don't know, Josh, like there's still a lot of talent. It's pretty tough, but every time he's had an opportunity to basically be impressive, he's done it. He does it every single time. And that goal today was just another beauty. I know it's against Bahrain, but regardless, it looked like a very good finish, and that's a good ball up to Raheem Edwards, who I'm a fan of. I really do like Raheem Edwards' game. I like his move to the Galaxy. I liked how he performed this season. Always active down the left-hand side. Usually has like anywhere between like 80 to 90 touches in a match. Like he's a very active left back. Those are like Davies numbers. It's just too packed of a position. You bring Edwards, who probably won't really feature, and if you need to put someone on the left, like I said, you can always shift Richie over. You have Davies there. And you have Atakubi. Anybody else experiencing technical difficulties? Josh, do you think Fraser's going to make the World Cup squad? Oh, we're back. I thought there was a good opportunity. Oh my. All right, I think we're back. What a goal. But showing the replay finally of the goal. Look at the finish. Takes it on the bounce and just roofs it. Ishmael Kone, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I think Liam Fraser is an interesting case. I thought if Fraser was going to make the World Cup, it would depend on Atiba and Osorio, and I think that's why he's in camp today. Atiba Hutchinson just featured for the first time this season in a cup match for Besiktas. Played very, very well, despite being 39 years old. Just looks so comfortable. Really just a different breed, honestly. Just being able to do that at his age, coming back from injury and still having a big impact on the match. And then, of course, there's Jonathan Osorio with the head injury. I felt like if both of those players were not up for it, or there was question marks, I think that's where Liam Fraser was going to come in. Fraser's always played really well for Canada. He's always been reliable from the bench as well. But in all honesty, I think he's playing at too low of a level. I always rate players going to Europe, but I'm sorry, the Belgian second division is just not. You have amateur teams in there now. It's just not high enough league. So that concerns me. And the second one is the fact that, we got fit players now. With Hutch featuring, hopefully that's good. And then Osorio's head injury looks to be good as he's on the ball right now. Does very, very well. Oh, Jonathan Osorio. I think it's ruled out offside. But what an opportunity there. Jonathan Osorio showing, hey, Ismail Kone, you're not taking my starting spot quite yet. But what a beautiful, look at the footwork there. Walking around like three guys and puts it on a platter for Cavallini just to tap home. That's what we wanted, Jonathan Osorio, man. Free agent as well. Big opportunity for him to impress at the World Cup and maybe get that move abroad that he's always dreamed of. But yeah, with Osorio, just doing what he's doing there, and if he stays fit and Hutch staying fit, I don't think Liam Fraser has a chance. But if even one of the two wasn't ready, I think that's why they brought in Liam Fraser. Like I said, regardless of the level he's playing at right now, he has been always good for Canada. He knows what he has to do when he's out there, and he could be a body if there's an injury. But if Hutch and Osorio are going, I don't see Fraser going. That's just my opinion. But I thought, like I said, I think because Herman didn't know before camp started what the Hutch Osorio situation looked like, he probably just talked to Fraser and said, hey, there's a chance we want to include you. Do you want to come basically to the camp? Are you able to get permission to leave? They obviously got him here. But let me know in the chat, guys. Yes or no? Do you think Liam Fraser, or would you want Liam Fraser on this World Cup squad? I honestly hope he goes back to Major League Soccer. or gets a move to a better European league. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just too low for me. Oh, it's a poor ball. Bahrain with a little bit of Joel Waterman slipping a little bit. Oh, and Bahrain get one back. That's not a great look there for Joel Waterman. Eee. That's a poor goal to give away. It's a very poor goal to give away. I don't know. Do you guys think that was Miller or do you think that was Waterman? I'll have to take a look at the replay. It looked like a bad ball from... Let's take a look here. Oh, it's not going to show it. Look like, I mean, I'm not sure where Joel Waterman's going. Ugh. That's a poor... John Herdman's not going to like that goal. John Herdman is not going to like that goal. It's a good hit. I mean, St. Clair did okay. They didn't show the replay. I wanted to take a look at the pass. Waterman gave a ball over to Miller, and either the pass was a little bit off or Miller just couldn't really control it. I think Miller flashing a lazy leg is less than good too. Yeah, I guess. Do you think that Kone is a number 10 long-term replacement for Osorio? It seems like a more box-to-box. I think he's literally a very similar player to Osorio. Like, I don't think Osorio is a number 10. I think he's an advancing 8. I think he can play as a 10, similar to Kone. I think Kone can play as an 8. I think Kone can play as a 10. He just got that technical ability, and he's got the will to go further up, and that's exactly what we've seen him do today. So I could see him playing both. Like if it's a 4-2-3-1, he could feature as a cam. If it's just a flat 4-3-3, he could feature as an attacking 8. That's where I think we're going to see Kone at his best. I don't think he's going to shift into like a 6 by any stretch. But for Canada, I mean, yeah, I mean, he can play, depending on the system, he can play any one of those midfield positions from an 8 upwards, in my eyes. I like him as this dual 8 or this dual 10. It's what he plays at CF Montreal. It's what he's playing today. What do you think about Morocco? The team is going to do at the World Cup. I think Morocco's got a really good team. I think that they could absolutely pull an upset, and I think Belgium, like I keep saying, and I don't want to jinx it, and Belgium just has an incredible World Cup, but I just don't think that Belgium looks like the same Belgium of the previous tournaments. I mean, there's still a ton of talent there. I don't mean that. I just meant like, I felt like in the last Euros and in the last World Cup, Belgium were one of the teams that people talked about going to like the finals. Like they were that good. And the fact that like Eden Hazard's still a mainstay in this Belgium national side, we don't know what Lukaku's fitness is going to be like. The back three is very much aging or young. Like you got DeBost in there, who I haven't been overly convinced with when I've seen him play. Opportunity there. Bahrain hits the post. Canada looking a little sloppy here. But yeah, I mean, I think Morocco's got a good side. I mean, after the managerial change, you got some of their star players back. And I think that, there could be a bit of an upset. That's such a sloppy goal to give up. Too many turnovers. You realize Canada is horrible. We have more than Major League Soccer players. I mean, Alphonso Davies, Tejan Buchanan, Jonathan David, Stephanie Stacchio. Got 4 players heading to the round of 16 in the Champions League. I didn't say that. I never said that Canada was better than Croatia. I think Croatia is going to top the group. But you guys don't have a striker, so I don't see you going deep in the tournament. But I think Croatia will top. I think Croatia is the most well-rounded side in the group, and I am expecting them to probably top it. But I'd say the biggest question mark around Croatia is probably just simply their striker. They got good wingers. They got an amazing midfield, solid back line, decent keeper. Just they have Budimir up front. Is it the local team that's playing? Like for Canada, I mean, I guess you could call it the local team. It's a North American team, meaning every player that's playing today plays in Major League Soccer except for one who's in Europe. I don't know. Let me know in the chat, guys. Rank Group F. Put your prediction in. Or just who you think is going to get out of the group. I had Croatia topping it, was my prediction. Alistair Johnston, set piece specialist coming in. I don't want to take a shot at Kamal Miller. I mean, there goes Joel Waterman's chances to go to the World Cup. I don't know. What do you? A lot of the chat thinks that was on Kamal Miller. I don't know. I'm torn. I'd like to see the replay again. It did kind of look like a sloppy pass, but also looked like a lack of effort to, control the ball. It just went. Then Waterman went out of position a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. Luke says Belgium, Croatia, Canada, Morocco. Belgium, Morocco, Croatia, Canada. Interesting one there. Tonio says Belgium, Croatia, Belgium, Morocco, and Canada. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see. Everything is possible. Yeah, I never got to see the replay. I don't know. That's why I'm like, I don't know exactly whose fault it was. It looked like a bit of a combination of both, but not a good look for either one. I really like Raheem Edwards so far today, though. I think he's looked pretty active down the left-hand side. Do you think Eustachio will get a move to a top 5 league? I don't, not because I don't think he'll impress or anything. I just think Eustachio's just got to Porto, one of the best teams in probably the 6th best league in the world. He's playing in the Champions League. He's starting to actually play again. He's got 4 goals, 4 assists this season for central midfielders, really good numbers. I just don't think he's looking to leave, and I don't think that there's a move that would, really interest him. I think he's excited to be where he is. Here comes Azorio, nice little ball, finds Edwards. It's a good little touch, but no, I don't see, like, for players who I think are going to get a big World Cup move. I did a video over on One Soccer just predicting a few. I think Eustachio, Davies, they're where they need to be right now. I think like an Ishmael Kone, because Major League Soccer is over, that he's got a huge opportunity, especially if he plays. I think Alistair Johnston's probably one who can get one. Maybe Atakubi, a decent deal somewhere to get him out of Hatayspor, especially if he plays well. I think it's probably, like, I don't even really see Buchanan moving because, again, hasn't even been at Club Brugge for a year yet. He's got Champions League round of 16 coming up. I think maybe like if Buchanan got a move because he had a really good World Cup, he could maybe get bought and then loaned back. I don't know, but I think like Kone, Jonathan David, Alistair Johnston are like the big 3 that I think could earn moves. Eustachio has been at Porto the exact same time as Buchanan has been at Club Brugge. He has, but Buchanan was a starter right away. The second Buchanan went to Club Brugge, he walked into that team. Also, I personally think the Portuguese league is a sizable better league than the Belgian league is. And I think Buchanan has got the opportunity to go to a top 5 league. I think Steph, being Portuguese, being at one of the best teams in the league, I think he's happy there. In my eyes. I mean, I don't know where, like, I could see Buchanan going to a European placed team in the Bundesliga, Liga, maybe just a decent mid-table Prem team. I just think with Steph, I mean, he's playing incredible. I just think, he's playing really good right now. And he had to work hard to earn that spot. He barely featured for Porto since making the move last season, and now he's just broken through. And it's a good league. He's going to be playing in the Champions League. I don't know. That's what I think. But let me know if you think Steph is going to move. What type of club could you think come knocking for him? 22 minutes in, 1-1 though, a little sloppy for Canada. Can Tomori represent Canada? He cannot. Tomori is gone. He has been capped for England, and he will never represent Canada. It's a shame. He played for Canada at U20s. Would have been very, very ideal to use him, and then just getting a slap in the face, getting cut for Harry Maguire. I mean, I don't know, man. That's tough. That's tough. Tomori won the Scudetto with AC Milan, one of the best English defenders that they're going to have. And I don't know. You got it. It's a shame. And you see people all the time on Twitter being like, Canadians, get over Tomori. He doesn't want to play for you. It's just like, well, if he never played for Canada, then maybe, he did play for Canada at a time, which means, he had some interest. And I've done a few different videos on it and taken quotes from him saying it was a really tough decision. He still considers himself Canadian, which hurts even more. So he definitely thought about playing, but at the time when he had to make that decision, Canada were not near where they were, and he probably assumed that he would never play at a World Cup for Canada. I can't say that maybe he would make a different decision knowing what he knows now, but yeah, like for a lot of people out there who just say like he doesn't want Canada, he never wanted Canada. That's not entirely true. There are a lot of quotes around him speaking very highly of Canada and the fact that he still feels Canadian despite only living in Canada a year out of his life, and he represented Canada. He's worn the maple leaf before. But unfortunately for him, he chose England, which, he's got every right to. He grew up there. And Southgate has treated him like crap. And it's a shame to not have him go to the World Cup. But yeah, I mean, he grew up in England. Like as a Canadian myself, it's like I can't fault him for that. He grew up in England his entire life. He's probably more English. He is more English than he is Canadian. But he's definitely got some love for Canada. And it's just unfortunate for him to have to go through that. But he will never represent Canada, unfortunately. He is cap tied to England. He's an England international now. Club Brugge has been a disaster for Kyle Larin. Kyle Larin could be one if he has a big tournament. Like if Kyle Larin scores like 3 goals, and just for example, like you guys remember entered Valencia in I think 2014. He was playing for Pachuca at the time in the Liga Mexi, and he scored 3 goals, I believe. Ecuador had a decent tournament, and he got a move to West Ham. But it is almost 11 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take a minute here of silence for Remembrance Day. I had the fiance come and give me a little knock on the door. So put a little bit of love in the chat, guys. Put some, I don't know if there's the poppy emoji or lest we forget, or just put something in the chat. Give a little bit of love here. I'll take a moment of silence once it's 11 o'clock here on Remembrance Day. But there is a free kick for Bahrain. It's a decent distance out. Let's see what they can do here. Kamal Miller does well. But all right, everybody, it is 11 o'clock. So I'm going to just take a quick few seconds here. All right. A lot of love for Remembrance Day. Got some love in the chat as well. I'm glad I remembered to do that. 11 o'clock. How many players are joining this MLS team from Europe for the World Cup? What do you mean? Like how many European players will join? There's more European players on the Canadian men's national team, I believe, than MLS players. But I mean, like some of the bigger names are like Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, Stephanie Stacchio, Buchanan, Larin, Atakubi, Vittoria, Borian, Cornelius. Early substitution for Bahrain. Looks like an injury. What do you think will happen in the first games of the group? Morocco versus Croatia. I think Croatia will win that one. I think Croatia's going to have a good tournament. Probably like a quarterfinal exit just because they don't have a striker. Nice ball from K. It's a really sloppy match so far from Canada, though. Been a little disappointed. Had a really positive start. A nice goal from Ismail Kone. Looked a little sloppy at the back. Remember, they're in a completely different environment right now. This will hopefully give them a little bit of a just understanding with the weather and how they can treat their bodies on here because it's going to be hot. I believe it's 30 there right now. But I'd like to see a more convincing performance. Another turnover there from Alistair Johnson. Bahrain go the other way. Just not a good ball, though. Soccer gods have their ways. They dislike it when you dishonor the Canadian flag. Cheers to Maguire for taking his spot. No, Harry Maguire, man. What? Tomori isn't? Nope. Tomori did not make the World Cup squad for England. Unfortunate. How is it Canada playing a friendly? Isn't the league still going? So yeah, so this camp was like it's strategic. It's basically an all North American. Like it's every player on this Canadian team plays in Major League Soccer, and the Major League Soccer season is over. So none of these players have games. That's why they're able to do this camp. There's one exception. Liam Fraser got permission to leave, but he plays in the Belgian second division. So I don't know what kind of conversation took place, but he left. So there's one European player here whose matches are obviously going on, and that's Liam Fraser, but he didn't start. Did you check the squads for Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia? What do you think? I did, and it's pretty much as expected. A ton of talent with all of them. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'd be thrilled if Canada could get anything from any of the matches. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good teams. Looks like there's a water break coming up around the 30-minute mark. Not a really good performance right now, to be honest, from Canada. What level is Bahrain? They're 85th in the world. So, they're a decent national side. I mean, they're 85th. So, I mean, they're, for a friendly like this. But I said the reason Bahrain is a strategic pick is because of the environment. It'll be similar to what the weather conditions will be like in Qatar. And, you want Canada to gel together and hopefully pick up a positive result. And right now, they're not playing overly well. It's 1-1. Yeah. Stay busy for MLS players. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm curious. Like, this has been a really poor performance in my eyes. So I'm curious to see if Herdman's going to make a substitution, just because these players are supposed to be the players getting the most minutes that'll obviously be going to the World Cup. But they're playing, I don't know, man. They're playing really sloppy, a little lackluster. It's gonna be curious to see what's gonna go on if there's what type of substitutions. Like, you look at maybe impactful substitutions. I mean, you got Jay Nelson and you got Schaffelberg there, maybe Akinola. But yeah, I mean, I heard a Belgian journalist state that Lukaku won't be playing against Canada. So probably Michy Batshuayi leading the line with Eden Hazard right to his left. Oh, that's a good ball. Here comes Bahrain. Oh, good save from Dane St. Clair. That was a good hit. Moroccan games in Qatar will be like home games. Yeah, I mean, a lot of nations will have that advantage. The Canada's struggling right now. I mean, I don't know if it's just because a lot of these players haven't played together before, but at the same time, a lot have. Like, you look at the back and you got Alistair Johnson, Kamal Miller playing there. It's just the main difference is Joel Waterman. Kay Piet's obviously played together before. You have Azorio up there, Kone. Nice ball. Finds Edwards. What a ball. Take a hit, Edwards. Ah! Edwards has looked lively down the left-hand side. Like I said, when he plays for the Galaxy, you play in a back four. He has a ton of touches. He's always involved. Imagine now he gets to play as a wingback. Even more offensive responsibility. But that was a decent ball from Kay. Do they have air conditioners in Qatar? I'm assuming. Are you going to Qatar? I'm not going to Qatar. I'll be doing a lot of coverage at the One Soccer studio, so we're going there today as well. We'll be doing I think a Panini pack opening and the World Cup game mode stream. Well, I'll be playing with Canada, so might be a little difficult to win, but that live stream's happening at 4 today. So be heading to the studio. Should be fun. Be doing a lot of streams there as well throughout World Cup. Quick decisions. You're not going to have time versus World Cup teams. Buffal. Canada won't pass the group. Belgium and Croatia are much better teams and would have cool seeing underdogs doing well. Yeah, I mean, if you're a betting man, you're gonna put a wager on it. I mean, I'd put money on Croatia and Belgium to get through because I think that's more than likely. But it's a beautiful thing about the World Cup. There are surprises, everyone. And if you don't believe me, look at Costa Rica's group in 2014. Who would have thought that Costa Rica would have topped that group? Uruguay were second, and then Italy and England crashed out. There's upsets every World Cup, and I think Morocco and Canada have an opportunity to potentially cause some type of an upset. But not if Canada plays like this. This has been a poor showing right now. They are missing a lot of their star players. This is to get the other guys fit, but there's just no cohesion on the pitch really today. No true idea. They are playing a different system, which is worth noting. They don't usually play the 3-4-2-1. That's why I'm like, well, maybe Schaffelberger or Nelson will come on and try to switch this up a little bit. But sloppy touch again. Some of the games are at 4 a.m. Central. We are lucky none of the Canadian games are at that time. I didn't realize that I could say I think every Canadian game is pretty decent. Like at least my time, like Eastern time. I think the games are at what, like 11 a.m., 10 a.m., and 1 a.m., something like that. It's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see a substitution. I mean, I want to see Canada get a decent result out of this. This has been a really poor showing so far after 35 minutes. But like I said, I don't know how much Herdman is going to focus on just simply getting these players the minutes. Maybe he doesn't care as much how they get there. The game's not going well. It's fine. These guys are getting important minutes. I don't know. But, not that good. But if you guys are just joining us on the stream today, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub if you're new to the channel, and say hello in the comments. Seeing a lot of Moroccans in the chat as well, seeming pretty confident on the World Cup, which is good to see. Got a good team. Herman needs to sub. Kone is good to go to Qatar, but let's see what the other guys can do. I mean, I don't know what I would do, though, because like you got to think of the shape. I mean, maybe you bring off a midfielder and you bring on either Nelson or Schaffelberg and you switch to maybe even Akinola and you switch to a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. You just push Larea up a little bit. I don't really know. Is it just me or the pitch looks pretty poor? Which CONCACAF team do you think will do the best in the World Cup? Unfortunately, probably the U.S. I mean, I think the U.S. have the easiest group by far. And they also have a kinder bracket. Oh, that's a good ball. Bahrain. Oh, good opportunity once again. Yeah, I mean, I think Costa Rica are in a ton of trouble. I think Canada could be in trouble as well. I think we both have really hard groups. I think Mexico's got a decent group. I just don't rate Mexico anymore. I mean, the performances are never there recently. Tata's got to leave. I still think they have a chance just because that's how poor their group is. I think it would be down to them and Poland for that second spot. Mexico could maybe do it, but I think Iran, U.S., Wales. I think Iran's got in my opinion, got a really good chance of making it to the round of 16, but the U.S. have, in my eyes, also just as good as a chance. So I would probably say they have the easiest time to make it far, but I don't really want to see them. Just the Canadian me always wants to see the U.S. lose. So watching this game on mute and listening to Josh. Well, Greg, I'm glad you're enjoying the commentary, my man. I'll be in the One Soccer studio today. So once the watch along wraps up, I'll be heading over to the studio. So that should be fun. Our stream will be at 4 o'clock today on One Soccer's channel. Little pack opening, FIFA, chat about the games today. Should be fun. No more injuries, no more surprises. Yeah, that would be ideal. Don't really want to see anyone get injured. Even though Daniel Henry did pick up an injury in warmups, he was supposed to captain Canada today, and Joel Waterman stepped in instead. The U.S. team will crash and burn. Mark my words. Mexico is questionable. I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have any faith in Mexico, even though I think they have a decent group. I don't have a ton of faith in the U.S., but I think that they probably have the best opportunity. They got a deep free kick. It looks like Edwards is going to take it and safely into the keeper's hands. Couldn't imagine that Mexico will make it out of the group. No, but like, again, compared to Canada and Costa Rica, like they have an easier group. Poland's not that great. It's probably one of the weakest European teams in the tournament. I'd say them in Wales. How many players from today's starting 11 do you think are going to the World Cup? St. Clair's going to the World Cup. He'll obviously be the backup keeper. Larea's going to the World Cup. Might start a game or two. Johnson will probably start every match. I think Waterman's up in the air. Miller will go and probably start every match. I think Edwards is also up in the air. I think one of him or Edwards will go. Piet will go. Kay will go. Kone will go. Osorio will go. Cavallini will go. So in my eyes, 9 players of the starting 11 will be going to the World Cup. Some of them will be starters. And I think there's a chance that Edwards or Waterman could go as well. So realistically, probably 10 out of the 11 will be going to the World Cup. Poland has a few solid players. They do have a few solid players, but they're not a team that anyone's expecting to do much at the World Cup. They can make it out of their group because, I don't rate Mexico, and I think it's Saudi Arabia also in that group. And they got Robert Lewandowski, which, Zelensky as well. Like they have a good team. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Give me the 2 weakest European teams. Am I missing somebody? I would probably say Poland and Wales are the 2 weakest European sides. But yeah, the roster announcement is Sunday. We'll be streaming it here. So if you want to sit back, grab some popcorn, and hang out with me while the roster is being announced, we'll set up a little watch party for it. So hopefully see you guys there. I'm very curious to see who the 26 men will be. You can probably guess 23 to 24 out of them pretty clearly, but there's definitely some roster spots up for grabs. Like I said, Waterman could be one. Edwards could be one. Maybe an outside shot of like a Jacob Schaffelberg. You got Corbianu, Brim. There's a ton of different options, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But it's at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and we will be doing a stream for it. Poland could surprise some people. They got Milik from Juventus in the 9, I think. Well, I would say they probably have Lewandowski. I mean, I think they play a 4-4-2, so Milik and Lewy just would probably play together. But I mean, you're looking at Poland, you're looking at Lewandowski. He's been in incredible form this season. This performance is tough. It is, but there's a lot of guys. I don't even think that's that good of an excuse. I was gonna say there's a lot of guys who haven't played together. Like this 11 has probably never played together before, but there's enough players on the pitch today that are used to each other. Let's count here. There is 1, 2, there's 5 CF Montreal players on the pitch today. So, I don't know. I don't know what the excuse is. Maybe it's the pitch. Maybe it's just cohesion. Maybe it's just they're not up for the task. I don't know. But this is not a convincing performance by any stretch. 1-1 right now. Looks like they just need a spark. This is where I would like to maybe see like a Jacob Schaffelberg or Jaden Nelson come in, get some pace, get some creativity. And because you got to remember, if you look at this starting 11, it's not very mobile. You got 4 midfielders in there. You got Piet, you got Kay, you got Osorio, and you got Kone. And then you have Cavallini, who also doesn't have a lot of mobility up front. So there's not a lot of pace. And if you look at the Canadian team when they have their full team there, you got David, Buchanan, and Davies. Plus, like, you got Larea overlapping and whatnot. You have a ton of speed. So this is a very different looking team. And it's why when I created it, like, and what I thought we'd see would be like a system like this, just because all these players will be going to the World Cup. So I want to see if like a Jade Nelson or Schaffelberg, who can come in with a little bit of pace, just a little bit of flair, can maybe turn these fortunes around, because it just looks like a slow team to me. I don't know if you guys are thinking the same, but when you look at it, like, who's the paciest player out there? I mean, you need Richie and Edwards, and those are probably I haven't really noticed Richie. Edwards has had a decent game, I think, so far, but that's where the pace is coming in. I think Hayes had a decent game too. He's had some decent long balls. He just did another perfect pass out to Edwards. Nice little touch. Okay ball coming in. Finds, I believe that is Richie Larea. Here's a good opportunity for Canada. Finds Mark Anthony Kay. Alistair Johnston, who's been whipping in free kicks all match long. I think Edwards has had a decent game. Like I said, I mean, because there's not a ton of pace and they're playing in this system, to get width on the pitch, you need your wing backs. And in my eyes, I really like what Edwards and Larea do. They are both very active fullbacks. But in my eyes, also, you can tell that Edwards has been playing longer. I mean, Richie's TFC side bounced out on decision day. The Galaxy went in and had a couple more matches due to the playoffs, and Edwards just looks more fit. I think Hayes looked decent today. I mean, his passing has been incredible. I think I've seen about 3 or 4 long, like he's about to maybe do another one, 3 or 4 really long balls to pick out Edwards. Hayes looked pretty decent today. He's going for another one. Like, look at his passing. Did I jinx it? No, I didn't. Another really good ball from Kay to find Edwards, who's having a lot of fun down this left-hand side, and he gets shut down. Nice ball. Finds Piet. Another poor pass. Richie, yes. Edwards is absolutely terrible on the ball. Are you talking about today? I think he's looked pretty good. He's making the runs. He's been a lot more involved than Richie has been. But I guess maybe that final ball hasn't quite been there. But it just, I mean, he's got so much space. Kay's picked out 3 or 4 long balls now, and Edwards is easily able to break free just because he's a pacey player. But I mean, yeah, that final ball, that end product's just not quite there yet. Exactly. Edwards is not making anything out of these balls, which he's getting. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I mean, Richie's not either. No one really is. This has been, I don't know. This is, I think, something you could do if you want to get creative, and this is where I don't know what Waterman's going to do. Is probably, I don't know. Like, I would almost honestly want to see it switch to a 4-4-2. I'd like to bring on Akinola, put him up front beside Cavallini, play Richie as a right back or right mid, and then bring on either Nelson or Schaffelberg to go at left mid and play 4-4-2. Oh, that's not good. Jonathan Zorio's down right now. The commentator said that the only positive thing about this first half is there's no injuries so far. And as that happens, Osorio goes down. That's fair. It is going up the left, but maybe it's going up the left because Edwards is making those runs and Richie isn't. I don't know. Well, honestly, it's probably because I've seen 4 different balls today coming from Kay to Edwards, and maybe it's just because Kay is left-footed. So he takes the touch on, and then he opens his body up, and then it's Edwards where that ball's going. But it can't be a coincidence. It's been 4 really good long balls picking out Edwards every time. That was a bad first half. Holy, let's go to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That was painful. We got a super chat coming in from John Burns. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Kennedy with the sad face. Fonzie's amazing, but they qualified. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Yeah, it's super disappointing to hear what happened with Kennedy. Now, it's for me again, there's an opportunity there for Derek Cornelius. I've always been a big fan of Derek Cornelius. I really like what he brings. Doesn't get a ton of opportunities under John Herdman, but he's the obvious backup left center back option now to Kamal Miller. And Fonzie is incredible. You can't get away from that. But all right, guys, if you're just joining us on the stream, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, say hello, all that stuff. But give me your guys' opinion on that first half. We're going to go through the comment section. Lazy, sloppy, or a couple words that come to mind. I don't know. I don't know exactly. Like, well, here, let's go to big screen here. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and then we'll get into what you guys are thinking. And again, if John Herdman only cares about playing this team in a way where the players that we go into the World Cup are who's going to feature, then it is what it is. He wants to get these 11 guys on the pitch minutes because these are the guys that will be going to Qatar. However, if he's playing this match to win it and the minutes don't matter as much, I would switch up the shape. I mean, I picked a back three in my prediction, but I was cautious because there's almost no reason to play a back three against an opposition like Bahrain. So I would like to see it maybe get switched to a 4-4-2. And stay with me here. So St. Clair would be in net. Alistair Johnson would be right back. Waterman, Miller, the two center backs. Edwards, left back. Richie Laryea would play right mid. Piet and Kay would be the two center mids. Or maybe Piet and Kone would be the two center mids. Left mid would be either Schaffelberg or Nelson. That would mean Azorio's off. And then up front would be Cavallini and Akinola. I don't know who the other substitution would be. I think I lost somebody there. So no, then it would be Piet. So I would bring, which I don't know if he wants to do that, but or maybe make it a 4-2-3-1, and you just take off Azorio just to make sure he's okay. You bring on Schaffelberg, and then you could have Kay and Piet, your two CDMs, Laryea at right attacking mid, Schaffelberg or Nelson left attacking mid, Kone as your cam, and then Cavallini up front. But there's some options on the bench. I mean, Liam Fraser, I think, will probably get some minutes. I don't really see a need to bring on McNaughton, Henry, ZBG, even Chouanier. I would like to see Akinola, Schaffelberg, Nelson, and Fraser potentially get a look. But let me know what you guys would do to try to switch this unfortunate result around right now. If we give the ball away like this against Belgium or Croatia, they will put 5 or 6 against us. It's true. I mean, but again, guys, this is a very different looking starting 11. They just look lost a little bit out there right now. It's going up the left more. It's not clear what Canada's tactics are today. Long passes forward, counterattack, slow build up. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. Like, I don't know. Do you guys think switching up the shape would be the answer? Just to go like something more attacking? No need to really play in that back three. That's just something that pops to mind for me. Like I said, there's not like a lot of mobility in this starting 11. There's just no way around it. There's not. Get the 11 back up, but share screen. But I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do because I really don't know. I'd like to see him potentially bring in some subs just to give them an opportunity. How early will it be for you for some of these World Cup games? It's not too bad. I think it's like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1 a.m. for Canada's games, but I'm not 100% sure. Josh, thoughts on Tomori not making the England side? It's not a shock given how Southgate has treated him, so quite unfortunate. I'm actually scared if Edwards touches the pitch in Qatar. He won't. I mean, if Edwards goes to Qatar, man, he's not going to play. It's very unlikely. Like the left-sided options, you have Davies, Laryea, and Atakubi already. You can even play Buchanan over there if you need to. He's played as a left wing back plenty of times for Club Brugge, and I think he's even done it for Canada. But I mean, I don't think Edwards has been the biggest disappointment. I mean, in this half, I just think, like I said, it's Canada usually play with a ton of pace, very forward in the way that they usually play when they have those specific types of players, and they don't really have that today. A lot of midfielders. Looks very congested with no real idea of what they want to do, which is why most of the time you just see K pinging it up to Edwards. Yeah, this is not going to be I mean, there are a lot of players in this starting 11 that will be going to Qatar, but I mean, the star players aren't really around them right now. Who's the one player to look out for Canada? Well, Alphonso Davies, but in this game today, I would say Ismail Kone. Like I said, I don't know, because remember, guys, this match isn't about anything else besides getting guys fit. Whether we win or lose today, it does not matter. But you do want to see a positive performance. But when I came up with my predicted starting 11, it looked exactly like this because these guys are all going to the World Cup. This doesn't actually mean it's a successful starting 11 because there's no real need for a back three and then 4 midfielders, which is basically, I don't know. Something's off today. It's just not looking good. I think a system change would be ideal. I just don't know what other players on the bench would have any chance of going to the World Cup. So what's the point of bringing them on to giving them 45 minutes? I don't know. Obviously not a great so far, but the point is to help Herman round out the roster and give some of the, yeah. And that is the point too. Like Marc-Anthony Kaye, for example, I could see him playing some minutes at the World Cup. He hasn't really played since decision day on October 9th. So you give him this game. You don't really need to bring him off. You know he's going to the World Cup. This is to keep him sharp. And that's where I don't know what's going to happen in the second half. I don't know what substitutions will be made, when they will be made. I mean, if he's playing to win, I would say shake things up. But if the objective is just to get these guys minutes because these are the guys going to the World Cup, then, I mean, this is the system to do it with. Yeah, Fraser's an interesting one for me because I just think he's got a chance. Yeah. He picked up an injury. When are you facing Japan? We're playing them on the 17th of November. Too much poor decision-making out there. Sloppy first touches, reactionary passes when the pressure is on. Yeah. And again, I mean, maybe this is maybe this is a good opportunity for Canada because this is playing in the conditions that Qatar will have. Like, it's very hot out there. They're not used to it. They're not used to playing with a lot of these players. Maybe it's affecting them, or maybe they're just, having a stinker. I don't really know, but it'll be interesting to see how Herman comes out in the second half. I'll never understand the fixation with Daniel Henry for Herman. I've watched him play since he was signed out of the TFC Academy, and he's nothing special. He's just simply one of Herman's guys. In the last press conference, Herman basically shot down any rumors of him being here for leadership reasons. Herman basically said, Daniel Henry is here because he is a good footballer. He's an important player to me. He's a locker room guy. He's a leader. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Henry and how much I personally think he should feature, it shouldn't be at all. I don't see there's really any need to play Daniel Henry. There's just no. I know he's had some games, but like in qualifying, Jamaica away, US at home, that's fine. But he's played 2 matches for a very bad TFC side, 12 appearances over an entire season. Lucas McNaughton's keeping him out. And then you have a player like Joel Waterman who has taken giant steps. And it's just being one of the coach's guys. And that's why he was going to play today. That's why he was going to captain the side today. The players like him. He is a leader. There's obviously reasons that Herman does what he does. But in terms of just simply performance on the pitch, Henry really shouldn't be going to Qatar. Just my opinion. I haven't seen enough out of him in the last, honestly, 18 months. But there's more to it than just what's on the pitch. And that's what Herman doesn't want to admit that. That's why I said in the last press conference, he said he's here because he's a good player. But in all honesty, in my eyes, he's there because he's experienced. He's a leader. He's good with younger players. He's good in the locker room. And it's an expanded squad. So he's got his regulars. He's got a reason to be there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This squad is not going to Qatar. Not all of these players. I said there's probably 10 of these players that will be going to Qatar. The pitch doesn't look that great, but they also aren't playing fast enough. Too much sinking. Yeah, and like I said, I just think it's because it's the congested midfield. You have 4 midfielders in there, and there's not really an objective what they're doing with the ball. Like I said, I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen Kay just ping it out to Edwards, and then Edwards whips in a ball to no one, or he loses it on the side. There's no real build-up, no clear identity of what this team wants to do today. So I can't wait to see what Herman's going to hopefully do to just tweak it a little bit at least. They're doing a poor job supporting each other out there. They can't keep the formation. I've noticed that too. I mean, I'm trying to take a look at the back, and sometimes you see Piet drop really deep, which then pushes different players up. It looks like their shape is not really staying intact. I just personally think it's just sloppiness. That's like the biggest thing for me today. Canada lacks squad in the midfield and defense attack. It's 50-50. I don't like the back three. Back three needs... I don't think the back... I like when Canada play in the back three. I just don't think that there's probably a need to do it against Bahrain, for example. But yeah, those are like the key players that Canada will be missing. Kind of matters if you lose to Bahrain. I think, yeah, it could hurt the ego a little bit. You want to go in on a high, so hopefully Canada can have a better second half. We could be more defensive by going to a back four, actually. I'd take Miller off, move Johnston to right back, and have a 6 to a 4-2-3-1. That's kind of what I suggested, except I would take off Azorio just because he picked up that knock and he's just getting back. And then you could switch it to a 4-2-3-1. But you need Miller on. You don't have another center back. So it'd be Johnston at right back. Then you would have Waterman, Miller, and then Edwards for your back four. You have Piet and Kay as your 2 CDMs. Kone is your 10. Lorea could play at right attacking mid. And now you have either Nelson or Schaffelberg at left attacking mid. Now you got players that can overlap. Alistair Johnson can push up the pitch a little bit more, do those overlapping runs with Richie Lorea. And the same can be said for Edwards and Schaffelberg, Kone in the middle, Cavallini up front. If you want to make one substitution, that's what I would do. It just adds a little bit more creativity, adds a little bit more speed, and it plays a different shape where you don't have to have this back three. Because Alistair Johnston for Canada will probably be hanging back a little deeper, but he's very good at going forward. You see it with CF Montreal. He mainly features as a wing back. So that's one little tweak that I think you could do to maybe make that 4-2-3-1 work. Yeah, I think the Japan match will be a real test. I'm excited for that as well. Kone is a good option for an attacking midfielder. I'll admit he's impressed me. However, he seems absent after scoring. The whole team, I mean, I thought they were going to maybe run away with this one for a sec, but now the whole team's gone a little absent after that first goal. But let's see what Herbig will do. There's a good opportunity. He'll tweak some things up. But that was the one change I would do. If you go up against a team with Lukaku, De Bruyne, Hazard, they will have a field day. Okay, well, I mean, yes, but no. I mean, Lukaku, from what we're reading, has been rumored to not be able to feature against Canada. Eden Hazard is not Eden Hazard anymore. I don't know. Hopefully I don't eat my words, but Eden Hazard has just been atrocious this season. He's barely featured. He's not the same Eden Hazard. You could have just said KDB and you'd still be right with your point. Kevin De Bruyne is in scintillating form. He is terrifying and could do it by himself. He doesn't need Hazard. He doesn't need Lukaku. KDB can win a match on his own, but I don't know. Lukaku's been rumored not to be able to feature against Canada, and Eden Hazard is just not the Eden Hazard used to be. But KDB is world-class, probably one of the best players in the world. And against Canada, that man could have some fun. But like I said, this isn't the starting 11 for Canada. This game is about getting them fit, getting them used to the environment, and hopefully trying to put in a decent performance. So the first half wasn't quite that, but let's see what they can do in the second one. For the match against Japan, will it still be MLS only? It will not. It will be the entire squad. Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to, and it's not like using an excuse, but like the climate will have an impact. It will help countries that are used to playing this climate, and it will hurt countries that aren't. You think of a country that it should hurt the most is probably Canada, considering, we have we have snow. But second half is going to come back underway, ladies and gentlemen. If you... Should I leave it? I'm going to leave it big. Right there for you guys. If you're joining the chat, say hello. Drop a like, drop a sub, all those fun things. I'm going to try to find where the last comment was. I don't think there's any substitutions here at halftime, which probably makes the most sense. Like I said, just this game is meant to give players those minutes, and that looks to what's going to happen. But second half prediction. I think Canada will win. I think Canada will win 3-1. That's my prediction. I think they'll wake back up here, hopefully. But it does still look like it's going to be that 3-4-2-1 system, which if they're going to make it work, they just need to be a little bit better with the ball in my eyes. Utilize Larea, utilize Edwards, combine in the midfield. You have 4 midfielders there and try to create something. Nice ball from Miller. It's a foul, gotta be. Lukaku is out against Canada. I'm watching the game from Doha, which is about 100 kilometers away from Bahrain. It's currently 28 degrees, but 73% humidity. Matt, appreciate the insight there. That's pretty cool. No, 73% humidity, man. That is not fun. Can you give me the name of... it's FootMob. Like the graphic that's on the or the app that I'm sharing right now it's FootMob. It's an app. It is my favorite app to use. I don't know if you guys like that one or if you prefer OneFootball's app. I think FootMob is unrivaled when it comes to just tracking games around the world. My point is that if you play a back 3 against a quality forwards, they will make you punish by the sloppy play. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's true. But like I said, this isn't going to be the Canada team that's out there. Well, some of the players, yes, it'll be different. But I mean, regardless, your point is correct. This is sloppy. If any of these players want to fight for starting roles, you gotta have a better showing than this. But let's see what they can do. They're very compact in the midfield right now. Got Alistair Johnston, slides it out to Richie. First minute back, the counterattacks are on with this back 3. They will get caught up too far, and they're going to pay eventually. You think they could be able to pull it off against a team like Bahrain, though? Got Miller. Nice switch from Piet. Say the chat's been pretty disappointed with Edwards today. Like I said, I haven't mind what Edwards is doing. I think he's making the right kind of runs, trying to get involved. But I think it's fair to say his final product hasn't been there. But the chat has not been impressed with Edwards whatsoever today. I don't know if anyone's really stood out to me. You see Edwards the most because, like I said, that's just where the ball's been going. Kone had a good minute. That's a good ball. Kone, take a hit. Oh, nice. Oh, man. The humidity will work in our favor because our CONCACAF extreme temperatures in the south and the European, and they struggle in the heat, especially England, because their games are about running. Yeah. I mean, we definitely have experience playing in like conditions somewhat like that. I think this is a bit extreme, but we're also very used to playing in the cold with our Canadian nature. Here comes Alistair Johnston. The pitch does not look a lot of fun, though. I will say that this looks like a rough pitch. Azoria does well, sort of. No, he doesn't. How old is Edwards now? Edwards is 27, I believe. I personally don't think he'll be going to Qatar. Just because, like I said, I think there's just too many left back options there already, or people can go there. you play it in a back three and it's a wing back, you can play Davies, you can play Larea, you can play Atakubi, and you can honestly play Buchanan if you absolutely need to. But that's a good little opportunity there. Oh, that's much better. Much better from Edwards. And I think Kone just missed a sitter. Oh, that was much better from Edwards. That was a good ball. But Edwards is down right now. That's not good. Oh, Kone, man. You had to bury that. That's really good there from Edwards. Steps around him, puts in a perfect ball. Oh, Kone. Oh, no. You cannot miss that. Oh, that should be a brace there for Ismail Kone. Oh. Yeah, Qatar's stadiums, I believe, are much better too. Oh, Kone, my man. But hey, the chat was unimpressed with the deliveries from Edwards. That was on a platter. I don't know how Kone missed that. It was harder to miss it than to put it in the back of the net. Ugh. Well, we were saying Edwards needed to find out a way to have more of an end product, and in my eyes, that was as good as a ball you're gonna get. Does really well running at speed to get around the defender, leaves him in his dust, and then puts in a perfect ball. That should be 2-1 Canada. Oh, man. That's okay. That's okay. It's better from Canada, though. It's much better. Almost 7 minutes into this one. Let's see if they can keep it going. I really want to see them get a win today, though. I don't really want to see them get nothing out of a match against Bahrain. I think it would flatten the team a little bit. So balls like that, it's just poor, boys. Have you seen yesterday's 26-man call-up for Croatia, Morocco, and Belgium? I have. Don't think there was a ton of surprises from any of the call-ups. All pretty good-looking squads. Let me know in the chat, guys. Was there any major call-ups or omissions I'm forgetting from one of the 3 other teams in our group? I feel like there's one from Belgium, but it's not like a crazy one. But here comes Richie. Squares it. Oh. Oh, man. Ricardo Pepi. Yeah, for the U.S. Yeah, I was a little surprised. Mainly because he was called in when he wasn't playing well, but then when he's playing well, he wasn't called in. Same as Zach Steffen was called in when he wasn't playing at all for City, and then when he's playing for Middlesbrough, he wasn't called in. So Greg's funny. What do you think about Morocco? They look like a very strong squad. They have the best wingers in the whole World Cup. Well, that's just not true. that's far from true. But Morocco looks good. I wouldn't say they definitely, I mean, Hakim Ziyech is a good winger, but I mean, he's not even playing well at all for Chelsea. Brazil probably have the best wingers in the tournament, I'd say. But Morocco's got a lot of talent there. Mazraoui, Hakimi, Ziyech. Is that Abdi from Barca's academy? That's just, I mean, that's not, yeah, it's probably not even top 5 in the World Cup in terms of wingers. Fullbacks, maybe. I mean, if you have Mazraoui and Hakimi, those are probably some of the best fullbacks you're going to find in the tournament. Boufal. I like Boufal. Creative player. Plays for Angers. But yeah, Morocco have a lot of talent. There's no getting around that. Yeah, but they don't have the best wingers in the tournament, but they have good wide players. I think in terms of fullbacks, you could argue Mazraoui and Hakimi, some of the best fullback core you're going to find in the World Cup. But up the pitch, I mean, Boufal is, I mean, he's a decent player, but he's not up there in the category of best wingers in the World Cup, and I don't even think Ziyech is. He's a good player, he's just not on form. When the national team can leave out Firmino, I think, yeah, I mean, he's not a winger, but I get your point. Brazil brought a ton of wingers. Is Cavallini playing? He is. I think I see ZBG and Liam Fraser warming up in the side there. So curious to see who would be coming on. Maybe Larray would go to left-hand side. That's a foul. Larray would go to the left-hand side, and maybe Edwards would come off. And then Fraser goes in the midfield for maybe K or Osorio. I don't know. Larray takes a good boot there. Yeah, Cavallini's been very quiet, man. It's a good ball, though, to find Richie there earlier. Just poor run. Let me know right now, guys, in the comment section, who's the first player you want to see come off the bench for Canada? I'm going to say... Oh, boys, what are you doing? Lost. I'm going to say Nelson or Schaffelberg. That's who I'd want to see come off. Maybe Liam Fraser. I think that's interesting. But I think this game needs like an extra pacey player. So probably Schaffelberg. I think Schaffelberg's up. If any opportunity, I think probably Schaffelberg's got a little bit more of an opportunity than Nelson does. I would love to see Schaff supporting the new mullet. Oh man, what a haircut! So jealous. I'd love to rock a curly mullet like that, but that's not. Wasn't gifted with a nice curly hair. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Akinola come on because Cavallini's just done nothing in this game, man. I mean, again, he's going to the World Cup, so it's nice getting some minutes under his belt, especially because he has not played since Decision Day as well. But I would like to see Akinola come on. Just see what he can do for the last maybe like 15 or so minutes. Because you'd have to imagine like the TFC players and the Whitecaps players will be feeling the heat a little bit, not playing for a while like this. What is the point of bringing in Nelson? He's not going to the World Cup. Only bring in people that will be playing the World Cup. Well, there's no one really on the bench that I think will go to the World Cup in my eyes. I think the only potential would have been maybe Liam Fraser. Other than that, I don't know. I don't see anyone else on the bench going to the World Cup. Maybe Schaffelberg. So I think Schaffelberg could be one you bring on. I think Liam Fraser could be one you bring on. I don't think Nelson will be going to the World Cup. So if you're bringing on a winger, you bring on Schaffelberg. But I don't know. I think a lot of these guys will eat up the majority of the minutes on the pitch today. Just because, like we said, I think 10 of these players will be going to the World Cup and they're all on the pitch. What about Corbeanu? I have a feeling Corbeanu won't make the team. I mean, I think he's playing at a high enough level. He's playing in the championship, a top 10 league in the world. He's not really in great form. He's kind of hit or miss this season. He's had his starts. He's had some opportunities. He scored 3 goals and got an assist. But yeah, here comes some early substitutions. So it is ZBG and it is Liam Fraser. Fraser's coming on for Mark Anthony K. That substitution makes sense. And who's coming on? Mark Anthony K. And yeah, so it is Edwards. So I'm assuming maybe you're going to see Richie go over to the left, ZBG on the right. Or maybe it's ZBG is going to go in at left wing back. But they're both straight swaps. Liam Fraser's going in the midfield in a straight swap for K. And it looks like ZBG is going to go over to the left. Left wing back. But Liam Fraser was a player I really wanted to keep an eye on. And you see 3 other players right now in the background. You see Lucas McNaughton. You see Jacob Schaffelberg. And you see Jaden Nelson. 3 other players warming up right now. Blackpool have fallen steeply as a team. Not his fault. It's not, but he's not playing a lot. He's not getting a ton of minutes. he's not getting a ton of minutes at all, and he's not playing overly well. But yeah, this is a huge opportunity for Fraser. They brought him here. He left his club team right now, who's obviously playing. I'm really excited to watch Liam Fraser here. Playing second division in Belgium is not high enough in my eyes, but he's always done well for the national team. Kamal Miller gets back up. Looks like he's shaking it off. He's gone out. Maybe that's why Lucas McNaughton was warming up. I'm assuming if McNaughton comes on, you push Joel Waterman out to the left and you put McNaughton in the middle. But yeah, I'd like Liam Fraser to personally go back to Major League Soccer. Like St. Louis City, bring him back. Or some team somewhere, man. I don't know. I want to see him back in Major League Soccer. I don't like him playing in the Belgium second division. He's a good player. I respect him going to Europe. But, I mean, you know, you might as well just play Major League Soccer when you're playing the Belgian second division. It's a poor challenge there from Larea and a big opportunity coming. Liam Fraser will make the team. His club team, Deans, wouldn't have let him go early unless he's in Herman's plans. I'd like to add to that. I think there's more of a chance right now that Fraser won't make it. I think the only way, I think Fraser is that one guy on the outside right now if something happens to Atiba and Osorio. But if Osorio and Atiba both go, I don't think there's room for Liam Fraser. But I agree with the fact that, like, I think probably Liam Fraser said, can I go, man? Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I want to go to the World Cup. There's a chance for me to I mean, I'm playing regularly because he's playing in Europe, which was, you know, I guess you can, in hindsight, it's smart there. He was released. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Atiba is going. No, I know that if they're both fit, they're going. But it's just like I said, if they're fit, that's a good save from Dang St. Clair. It's just that if they're fit, like we don't know. Coming back from an injury, rushing it, you never know. If Osorio and something happens to Osorio or Hutch and they can't go, I think that's where Liam Fraser was brought in this camp for. But if they are both going because they're both fit, then I just think it's too little too late for Liam Fraser. I respect it too, but Belgium second division, come on, dude. Unless you're going to play top flight or second division in England, it's not worth it. Ooh, off the bar from the corner. Dane St. Clair. Like I said, Fraser has always played well for Canada. He's trusted from John Herdman. And I think that if, like I said, if one of those midfielders don't go, I think that's where Liam Fraser comes in. But I agree. I think after the World Cup, I hope he just goes back to Major League Soccer. Unless he finds like a top flight job somewhere else. But when the rumors were going that he was heading to Europe, I thought he was going to go to a Belgian first flight team. Like such an improvement. And then he landed in Deans, and I didn't quite understand it. I mean, like I said, he's playing regularly at least right now. You can say that, but I don't know. Let's see what he can do out here. He was a player who I said was a bit of a wild card for this camp. So let's see if his passing will come into play. But it is worth noting that Richie Larea did switch over to left wing back, and ZBG is playing at right wing back. Atiba should go even if he's injured. He's the one guy that should be there no matter what. Atiba is a no matter what guy to have on the team. He's our leader. He must be there. And I mean, yes. I mean, I don't know what the rules are, what Herman would think about bringing players that cannot play. If there's any chance that Osorio and Hutch play, they're on that plane. That's the beauty of having a bigger squad. But yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, no. Oh, Joel Waterman gives away a penalty. That's not been a good performance from Joel Waterman. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. It's not the confidence booster you need to lose to Bahrain. It's a good little ball. Was it Alistair Johnston? It was Alistair Johnston. It wasn't my bad. It wasn't Joel Waterman. It was Alistair. looks like he just, I mean, honestly, it looks like it's on the contacts made on the outside, but I don't doubt there's VAR in this. Yeah, like the contact comes from the outside or it's a dive. But there's no VAR in this friendly. So penalties given. All right, Dane. Let's see this claim for the future. Oh. Oh, it hurts. No, yeah, it was Johnston. I mean, I think it was outside the box too, but it's a friendly. There's no VAR. It's not going to matter. Oof, penalty. St. Clair got close to it. It was a good pen. This is the worst we've looked for 2 years. It's not a positive performance. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, 2-1 Bahrain. It's got to hurt the. So we're gonna lose the Bahrain, but we're gonna make it a splash in a couple weeks. Yes, but I want to reiterate, guys, the point of this camp is to get these guys minutes. That's it. Our starting 11 will look obviously different with the starter players, but it is still not a good look. This team should be good enough to take on Bahrain. There's no excuse. They're playing so poorly. They're just not linking up at all, man. They look lost out there, but so is the level of MLS really better than the Belgian second division? I would say yes, but no, man. Got a free kick coming up. This would be a nice opportunity to make a statement, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the camp right now. I just want to say that yes, this is not our main squad. Liam Fraser over the set piece though, so see what we can do here. This is not Canada's. This game doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form. This is an opportunity to get minutes under guys who are out of season. That's the point. However, it is still a poor performance. You want to get a result. That's a terrible free kick from Liam Fraser. I'm not sure how that went in there, but yeah, this is just, it's not a good look. And like I said, I mean, Herman is playing to get his players to feature in areas where they're going to play in the World Cup, which is why he probably hasn't really tampered with this 3-4-2-1. Because that fits the players that he thinks will be going to Qatar. Finds ZBG. Decent ball there. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good feel. I still think this North American-based Canadian side should be beating Bahrain. And the performance has not been very good so far, but 2-1, 68 minutes. See if we can get something out of it. I'm curious to see if he would bring on Cavallini, or bring off Cavallini. It's a good switch. Great switch. Finds ZBG, takes it down well. Back post. Oh. Got off to the early start too. I thought Canada was gonna run away with this one, man. Thought it was gonna be like a 3-0 type performance. Got off to that early start, looked confident, and then just fell flat. If Bahrain win in Canada, so our Moroccan team will have an easy match. This isn't Canada's starting 11, but I mean, it definitely has to hurt the ego of some of the players that will be going to the World Cup. So yeah, just, in case anyone's wondering, guys, take a look at the starting 11. It's on the screen right now. This isn't Canada's A team, but there are a lot of players that are going to be featuring in the World Cup. So regardless, it's still a tough look. It's just the performance that's been super disappointing. But they've used a few subs, so I'm curious to see if some more will happen here. But the Moroccan fans in the chat love it. Fraser's playing very deep. It's a good ball, I think. Will Richie get there? He will, barely. This is embarrassing. 2 more substitutions coming on. It's McNaughton and it's Akinola. So they're putting 2 strikers out there. So Samuel Piet's coming off. So that tells me maybe there's a switch in shape. Samuel Piet comes off. Akinola goes up. Adds another striker up front. And Kamal Miller comes off for Lucas McNaughton. So McNaughton makes his Canadian debut. Gets his first cap. Akinola's back with the national team after, I believe, suffering that injury with them. So I'm assuming Waterman will go to the outside left center back. And McNaughton will take central center back. But no, McNaughton's going, he's saying back 4. Back 4. What will back 4 look like? So it'd be Johnston at right back. So I'm assuming it's a 4-4-2. I'm going to try to remember who's on the pitch today. So I'm going to guess the position right now. It looks like they've gone to a 4-4-2. So St. Clair's in net. Johnston's right back. Waterman, McNaughton are the 2 center backs. ZBG's left back. Or sorry. No, what's going on here? No, Larea's left back. ZBG's right mid. Zorio and Fraser, the 2 center mids. No, that's not right. I don't even know who's on the pitch. Cavallini and Akinola are the strikers. Looks like Kone's in the midfield with Fraser. So I'm missing a player. Let me take a look quickly. Who am I missing? So no, Azorio's on. So yeah, so it'll... No, is Azorio on? Footmobe's useless. I'm missing whoever's playing at left mid. If Azorio's on, he's playing at left mid. But yeah, the Moroccans in the chat are going to like this result. They're going to like this. Coach didn't call Ziyech, Mazraoui, Hakimi, Bafuli, a lot of good players, but now we have a good coach with a stacked team. Why would any Moroccan fan be spending time watching this game? LOL, as a Canadian fan, it's barely watchable. Seems like there's a lot of Moroccans in the chat keeping a little eye on this, and honestly, it should give them a little bit of confidence. Yeah, I don't even know what this lineup looks like right now. I saw McNaughton go like this, saying I thought it was gonna say like a 4-4-2. But I'm missing someone. So maybe it's Fraser and yeah. So Azorio's playing at left mid. Kone, Fraser, the 2 center mids. CBG's at right mid. Akinola, Cavallini, the 2 strikers. Got a corner kick coming up. So I believe they're playing in a 4-4-2 right now. So Herdman did switch up the shape a little bit. And we got a 73rd minute. Losing 2-1. Azorio's shifted out to this 4-4-2. Alistair Johnston has been over set pieces today. Akinola. Oh, it's a poor ball. Oh. Hey, what's your World Cup ranking now? I believe we're 41st in the world. Anybody want to check that for me? Is Canada still, are they 41st? Oh, that's a foul on Richie? Yes, it is. Man, I hope the women's squad can cheer us up later. Well, hopefully there's a late goal or so. Give this team a little bit of confidence at least, but I don't think Bahrain has any stars either, no. Oh. It's not looking good right now, man. It's not looking good. But yeah, anyone who's just tuning in, Canada played most of the game playing in a 3-4-2-1 system. Had a few substitutions. Now they're playing in a 4-4-2. Finally figured out who's playing where. St. Clair's in net. Johnson's right back. You have McNaughton, Waterman, the two center backs. Larrea's left back. ZBG is right mid. Osorio's left mid. Fraser and Kone are the two central mids. Cavallini and Akinola are up front. Playing in the 4-4-2 should give them, I don't know, a little more of an opportunity maybe to try to find the equalizer right now in the last 15 or so minutes. But man, I think it's a water break coming up. It's been an ugly performance so far. Akinola has simply not looked the same since he tore his ACL. He's not. And it's a shame because Akinola was on really, really good form with TFC, earned his Canada spot, tore his ACL. It's such a tough injury to come back from. And he just has not looked like the same kind of player back with Toronto. And this is his first opportunity back with the national team. We'll see what he can do. Can I ask about your opinion on Hamdallah, a return to the Moroccan? He won the best scorer award in 2019, I guess. I mean, I know a little bit about him because he's had an incredible goal-scoring record in Saudi Arabia. Broke a ton of records over there. Seems like a striker who can put the ball in the back of the net. So if I was Moroccan, I'd be pretty happy he was included. I think I saw on social media that a lot of Moroccans were. But I don't know. And for the Moroccans in the chat, who do you guys want to be your starting striker? I'm curious. I've seen a lot of different options, I guess, for Morocco. So I'm curious. Just in the chat, if you're Moroccan, let me know who you guys want to start, or maybe who you think will start for you guys. And Naziri's obviously one playing at Sevilla, but I mean, he's not playing overly well. You guys are seeming pretty on point. Am I saying it properly, guys? Is it Hamdallah? Pardon it. Excuse me if I'm not saying it properly. But yeah, you guys are all pretty on point with him. I followed him when he played for Al Nassr in the Saudi Arabian League, and he moved to a different team over there, and just seems like he scores every single match he plays in. So I don't know, if you're going to the World Cup, why not want a player who can find the back of the net? And another miscommunication for Canada. Almost right. I tried. Hamdallah. Well, let's hope Canada scores a goal at this World Cup at least. Yeah. This isn't a good performance, but it will give them important minutes. Keep them, hopefully fit. And like I mentioned, we'll have our big hitters come World Cup time. So it's a decent ball. Finds ZBG. Brogue Girard. He scored 57 goals more than Messi in CR last year, I think. Yeah, I mean, say what you want about the league. I mean, it's an okay league, but I mean, you can't deny the numbers. He knows how to find the back of the net. So if I was Moroccan, despite Naziri playing at a higher league, I'd probably want him starting as well. Canada put under a little bit of pressure and had to play up from the back and can't quite do it. Canada will score at this World Cup. I got my money on JD. Yeah, I mean, Bahrain, they're a decent national team. That's why they came up with this friendly. It's a decent national team, and they play in similar atmosphere that we're going to play at the World Cup. This was a great friendly to line up. I was just hoping for a better. The score doesn't even bug me the most. It's the performance from Canada today. I don't quite know what the game plan was. They look lost. Players were not gelling together whatsoever. But at the end of the day, it's frustrating. But the point is to get these guys minutes. So it is what it is. Canada's being cautious. John Herman probably told the lads not to commit, not to risk injury, period. His Canada team is C class. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean if this is their C team? I wouldn't say this is their C team. There's a lot of players on the starting 11 right now that will be playing in Canada's actual starting 11 in the World Cup, which is why you would hope still they would be doing better. But Liam Fraser does well there to win the ball back. Nice ball. Akinola. Got Richie. Richie! Come on, boys. Nice ball. ZBG. Hey! They got one. Ugly goal, but Lucas Cavallini came out of nothing, man. Came out of nothing. Wow. All right. 2-2. 2-2. A little better for the ego, I guess. I'm not sure how that one went in, but ZBG pumped it across. Decent ball. Cavallini wasn't even looking. Wasn't pretty. Hasn't been a pretty performance, but lucky. I mean, you got to take them. Who's our best player? I mean, our best player for Canada is Alphonso Davies, but I'd say our best player in this team right now. It's a tough question. I'd probably say Zori or Kone, maybe. It's a tricky question. I don't know. I mean, maybe just like depending. I mean, you want to look at someone who's a little more attacking. I'd say maybe Alistair Johnston's the best player in this team, just for his importance for the national team. We'll probably get a move to Europe at some point. Rumors are a couple Bundesliga teams are tracking Alistair Johnston, so I think our best player is Davies, but our most important player is Eustachio. That's a fair statement. But what about for this team? Who do you guys say is the best player? I'd say probably Alistair Johnston in this team. I think Zorio and Kone both deserve a shout, but although Cavallini, we didn't know he scored. Hi from Morocco. See you in Qatar. Yeah, and I mean, this performance wasn't good. So any of the Moroccans out there tuning in, yes, the performance wasn't good, but this is not our A team. So we don't have any of our European players. This is just MLS, but it wasn't a good performance. So, you know, it's not great to put up an effort quite like this, but it's 2-2. Hopefully, you know, they can find the winning goal, get a little bit of a roll going here. But hopefully, like I said, I mean, getting these players minutes, playing in this type of heat late in the match, I think will be very good for them. Obviously, they have the final friendly against Japan, which will be the A side to get some minutes under their belt, get used to the environment, the climate, all that stuff. But a lot of these players doing it now, which is nice. And like I mentioned, for anyone who doesn't know, there are a lot of Major League Soccer players and their seasons are over, which is why these minutes are crucial for them. But John with another super chat. I appreciate it, my man. Toss it up on the screen for you. Says Cavallini, wow, a no-look goal. Yeah, he really didn't know what was going on there. But there's a good ball. Using the flanks much better here. Here comes Villarreal. Take a hit. It's better. It's better. Chill, guys. Be playing around. Hey, if I was Moroccan, I'd be poking some fun in here as well. Why not? It'll be fun when Canada take on Morocco, and hopefully that game will matter for one of us. I think there's an upset to be had at Belgium's expense in my eyes, and I'm assuming the Moroccans will think the same way. Fraser's looked pretty good since he's come on. I kind of wish he started. He just sits so deep, dictates the play so much. But ever since Canada switched to this 4-4-2 system, man, they've looked much better. They have players who can do overlapping runs, just be able to utilize a little bit more pace, and they actually take the game a little bit to Bahrain. Where before, with the 4 midfielders, there just was a little lack of identity and creativity. I think that we can win Croatia. A lot of you guys saying that was handball. Maybe, but there's no VAR. It's a friendly. It'd be harsh to give. It's got to be in a friendly with no like technology. It's got to be like clear. What do you guys think of Waterman's performance today? Give me a rating out of 10. Joel Waterman. He's one that you had to keep a special eye on because he's one of those bubble players. It's a terrible free kick. But let me know, out of 10, how would you guys rate Joel Waterman's performance? I'd say probably 6.5. I think he looked a little sloppy a little bit. Performance of the match was given to Ishmael Kone, which I don't think anyone really stood out today. Kone had a bit of brilliance, but other than that, you guys are saying 6.5, 6, 5, 5, 4, 6. So kind of similar to what I'm thinking. Didn't quite move the needle. No, not foul. Who here thinks France will win it all? Who here thinks France will continue the World Cup curse? And if you don't know what that is, if you win the World Cup, the next World Cup you get knocked out in the group stage. I believe the first time it happened was Italy won in 2006 and were dumped out in 2010. Spain won in 2010, were dumped out in 2014. Germany won in 2014, were dumped out in 2018. And now France have won in 2018. So if they continue the curse, they will get eliminated in the group stage, or if they make it out, they'll break the curse. So let me know in the chat if you guys think that France will continue the curse, or if they're just too good to have that happen. But 87th minute right now. Looks like this one is going to end in a draw. It's got to be a foul for sure. Kone gets a 10 for the first 5 minutes and a 5 for the rest of the 90. I don't disagree. I'd probably give Kone like a 7 or a 10, and that's probably enough to be the man of the match. No one on either side really stood out to me. That's a terrible ball from Fraser. France was the first. Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, no. When did France win it last? 2 more late substitutions. Schaffelberg and Nelson coming on for Cavallini and Larea. The mullet looks excellent. When did France win it last? Did they win it 98? I don't remember. Waterman 7. No, France will get eliminated in the first round. Round of 16? Or group stage. Looks like Jay Nelson is playing as a striker up front with Akinola, and Schaffelberg went out to the midfield. 88 minutes. There's not much time left, but it's nice to see Schaffelberg and Nelson coming back on. Looks like Bahrain's going for it. They're pressing pretty hard on Canada. Can lead to a lot of open space in the back as ZBG goes long, and it looks like that might go out for a corner. And it does. Late corner coming up for Canada. See if they can find the winner. Why not? Bahrain's going for it. Pressing high, putting bodies forward. Alistair Johnson's over the set piece. Late in the match. Put it on the head of that beautiful mullet of Jacob Schaffelberg. Drawing against Bahrain is almost as bad as losing 3-0 against Morocco. It's not our first team, though, you know. It's not a good performance regardless, but. All right. I don't know how many minutes will be added on. Probably not a lot, maybe 3. We're getting close to those final few minutes here. Osorio. Got to put it out wide. That's where all the success has been coming from, and having players that can overlap. Before, it was just Edwards and it was just Larea. There was no one helping out with those overlapping runs, adding a little bit of support. And ever since they switched to the 4-4-2, it's been so much more bodies going forward. Made it so much more harder for Bahrain to deal with. I think there's 4 minutes, if I saw that correctly. Kone, nice ball. Schaffelberg. Josh, if we do get out of the group, we will play either Germany or Spain. Do you see us having a chance? I mean, we would be heavy, heavy underdogs, man. I think Croatia or Belgium, Canada, whoever makes it out of our group, I think probably won't make it any further than the round of 16. I think both Germany and Spain, if they can play the way that they can, will probably go. So I don't know. That's my opinion. I think there's just too much quality in both Germany and Spain. Nice ball. Can we find a late one here? Oh, boys. ZBG should stay in the squad. He's been the Joker. I think he's looked pretty good since coming in, to be honest. France maximum is quarterfinals. A lot of issues going on in the France camp, eh? Just, I don't know. A lot of drama, a lot of Mbappe, ego. I think they're going to crash out relatively early as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think Spain and Germany are gonna both have a decent deep run. Two minutes to go. Can Canada find the winner? So, Josh, it's clear we shouldn't do a back 3. No, man. This game is no. I think Canada will play a back 3, and it'll look very different when you have our full squad here. I think in today against an opposition like Bahrain, you should have been able to look for those wide players, look for the players to overlap. You could just tell when Canada went to the 4-4-2, they created a lot more. But it's because they're going to have a lot more possession, or they should against Bahrain. Against a team like Belgium, even potentially Morocco and Croatia, they're probably not going to have the majority of the ball. So having that back 3 is safe. They're going to have Davies obviously in there, Buchanan, Adekubi. It'll look very different. This one was at the beginning. Herman wanted to play these players in the positions they'll play at the World Cup, which is why he went with this 3-4-2-1. But you had Larea and Edwards with absolutely no support. You had this congested 4-man midfield that wasn't really gelling together. It wasn't until you switched to the 4-4-2 where, I mean, Larea can be so dangerous when he has someone overlapping him. ZBG looked very good since coming on. You had the 2 strikers. Cavallini just didn't do much. It just looked very different since going to this system, and they looked pretty good with it. But the match in general was mostly spent in this 3-4-2-1, and it was an ugly performance. Dude, the back 3 just wasn't it, Chief. But this isn't the team that's going to play for Canada, man. Look at qualifiers. When some of Canada's best performances came with the back 3. They'll probably play a version of a 3-4-3/4-4-2. They're going to switch up the shape. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I mean, like, their systems change all the time. The back 3 will be played. But, yeah, that's all she wrote. It's a little disappointing. 2-2 draw against Bahrain. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Canada is strategic to start their preparation already. The Moroccan 26 were just selected, and they're still busy celebrating their selection on Instagram. You guys have a match against Georgia coming up, do you not, though? Yeah, I don't know. Give me a rating. Give me a rating out of 10 for Canada today. I'll start. 5 out of 10 for Canada. Like I said, I'm gonna quickly wrap this up, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're still with us, be sure to drop a like and a sub as always. Let me know what your rating is in the comment section out of 10 for Canada. But remember, the objective of this game was to get players going to the World Cup who are out of season, which is the Major League Soccer players, to get them playing in an environment similar to Qatar, which is why they set up the Bahrain friendly. They were even playing in this potential formation that they could feature at the World Cup. So going up against Bahrain, the 3-4-2-1 probably wasn't the best system to play, but it's what Canada is probably going to play, or these players are going to play. So we got a lot of familiarity in there. They switched to the 4-4-2 later on. They looked better. But all in all, it was just to get minutes under these guys' belt. It was a poor performance. Yes. It was underwhelming. Yes. But hey, a lot of these players who haven't played since October the 9th just got a good chunk of minutes, got a training camp underway. This wasn't the Canada full team. There's no Davies, David, Buchanan, Laird, Eustachio, Vittoria, Borjan. There wasn't a full team here. So it was just, it's a friendly. It was used to get preparation, to get these guys fully fit, hopefully getting some good reps under them, and then they'll merge in with the team that is selected to represent Canada at the World Cup. So yes, it was disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's a friendly that didn't really matter. It's a little disheartening just with the result and at times just simply the performance, but all in all, it's not that big of a deal. The most important thing was to get minutes under these players' belt. That's what happened. Now, Herman can take these players, move them on in, and mesh them with the rest of the players coming in. They can head on over to play the Japan friendly. Obviously, a very different looking starting 11 there, and then go into the World Cup. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's tough. I mean, but I like the fact that these players had the opportunity to feature. They got these minutes under their belt, and they're playing in a tough environment. They're playing in a very similar atmosphere, heat, humidity. Someone who's said in the chat that it was a 73% humidity day. So late in the game, they found an equalizer. Take a little bit from that, but all in all, nothing really to sweat over. But let me know your guys' thoughts before we wrap this thing up. Cavallini was invisible. His accidental goal. Yeah. I mean, Cavallini is not going to play a ton of minutes at the World Cup. That's a fact, man. He's not. He's not going to play a ton. If he features, it'll be from the bench, last 10 or so minutes, Cito to match. Vittoria doesn't fill me with confidence. Everyone seemed gassed. Vittoria has been in really good form this year, though, with Chavez. Took a promoted side to mid-table. He's been playing almost every minute. He's very comfortable in a back three with Johnston and Miller beside. I mean, he's our best option by far, and he's an aerial presence, so not too bad there. I don't care. I'm just gonna pretend this is Canada's full strength team. Makes me feel good. That's fair. That's fair. No Davies, no team. Other teams are, yeah. I mean, plus, like I said, Buchanan. It'll be a different looking starting 11, but Kone was the best player on the pitch. He had a really strong 10 minutes, and then kind of quiet from there. See you in Qatar. Good luck against Croatia and Belgium. Good luck to you guys as well. I'm excited for the Morocco-Canada game, and let's hope that when we play each other, we're both fighting for something still. Maybe Belgium is the one that slips out. We'll have to see, but I thought they played well given the roster. Nice to see Dane in net. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say well, but yeah, looking at the roster, like I just thought the fact that they lined up in this 3-4-2-1 and it didn't gel, and then Herman didn't really tamper with it too much, made it difficult. Like when I think Richie's at his best, it's when he has Davies alongside him or Buchanan, and they can overlap and they can create so much space for each other because they're just quick. Larea barely saw the ball in the first half. Edwards had a ton of it. Didn't have a lot of end product there, but I think once they went to the 4-4-2 and you have more possession against a team like Bahrain, you get more opportunities to go forward. And when you had those two wingers on both sides, it just created a lot more chances. And that's where the goal came from. Is ZBG got in a good area, whipped in a ball, bit of a fluke, but are you going to Qatar? I am not. But guys, I'm heading over to the One Soccer studio today and we're going to be doing a stream at 4 o'clock. We'll be doing some Panini pack openings. We'll be doing the World Cup mode. I'll be trying to win it online and with Canada. So can also talk about the game. We talk about the women's game as well. So we'll be doing that in a bunch of content over at One Soccer. But I'll be in studio today, so hopefully a lot of you guys will check out that live stream over on One Soccer's YouTube channel when 4 o'clock hits. I don't know if you guys have played the World Cup mode. I haven't yet, so I'm going in cold. See if I can do and see if it'll be a challenge to win with the World Cup. But hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys over there. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Wasn't the result we wanted, but like I said, the importance was to get the minutes under the belt, and that's exactly what happened. So hopefully we'll see you guys later in another live stream at 4 today. On your way out, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as always, and I appreciate you guys all tuning in for me. Thank you guys so much, and we will talk to you soon. Cheers, friends.